Hi everyone, I'm Bita Delisi with Stonegate Legal Services, and in this video we're going to talk about termination of tenancy with respect to security of tenure. Stay tuned. My office gets tons of calls every week from realtors, landlords, and investors surrounding termination of tenancies. Some questions like, hey Bita, the tenant's lease is coming to an end, can the landlord evict the tenant? Or, hey Bita, the tenant is giving us a hard time, we want to sell the property and they're not allowing for showings, can we evict the tenant? And the answer to those questions are absolutely not. Tenants have what's called security of tenure. And what that means is that just because that lease is coming to the end of its term doesn't mean that that tenancy relationship is over. It just means that that relationship, which is a fixed term relationship, changes slightly into a month-to-month tenancy relationship moving forward. A tenancy can be terminated in one of three ways. So number one, by notice from the tenant terminating tenancy by way of an N9 form. Number two, by mutual agreement from the landlord and the tenant by way of an N11 form. And number three, by way of a court order or a landlord and tenant board order. Quite often I get phone calls from landlords and realtors saying that my tenant sent me a text message or an email saying that they're moving out in 60 days. I often inform that these text messages or emails are not legal notices to terminate tenancy, and that if the landlord agrees, the landlord should also inform the tenant to provide a legal notice, whether it is by way of an N9 or by mutual agreement of an N11. Anytime you receive a notice on legal letterhead, you want to make sure that that notice is valid. Check the names, the dates, the signatures, and the dates of service or issuance of that notice. And the reason for that is because a notice that has a signature and date validates a notice. If the landlord receives a notice to terminate tenancy from the tenant by way of N9, and then the tenant changes his mind on the date that they were supposed to move out and they didn't, that landlord can pursue an eviction through the landlord and tenant board. I hope you found this video informative. If you have an issue with your landlord and tenancy, call us first.